All right, so Grandpa, tell me about the Battle of the Bulge.
Well, the Battle of the Bulge was the last stand, the last attempt of the enemy to reclaim some of the land and some of the prisoners of war that they lost to the American army.
And how many times you get shot in one day in the Battle of the Bulge?
I didn't get shot.
In your foot? You didn't get shot? Was it shrapnel?
Shrapnel. Came up through the bottom of the bulldozer we were inside of. We were going along to clean up the remaining part of the road where it was blocked off so that our trucks could get through. So they assigned us a lieutenant, myself as a sergeant, the bulldozer operator, and a driver of a Jeep, 4 of us. We went to the motor pool, we picked up the bulldozer, then we went out on the road where we had to keep it clear so they could get into the motor pool and take out all their vehicles. While we were driving, they started shelling from the other side. They were probably a few miles away. They just zeroed in on where the equipment was being used. And a shell landed underneath the bulldozer. And the shrapnel came up through the floor.
Wow.
And it hit me in the leg. And the bulldozer started to fall. It was on a hill. We were driving, the road was flat, but the hill was this way in the road. In any event, the bulldozer started to fall. And as it fell down, I opened my door and I was going to jump out. It fell my way. So the bulldozer operator, his name was Johnny Durham. This guy from the South, I think.
Was he Jewish?
No. He said, shut the door, and a good thing I did, because if I would have jumped, the bulldozer would have fallen on me. It fell my way.
That's not good.
See, but we had to hold ourselves best we could, and as we fell over, I banged my eye right on the bolts, and they give you the slits where you can see it from inside out. And I had the eye started to bleed. I didn't know what it was. But in any event, the bulldozer finally stopped after like 1.5 turns. And door was above, there was a door on each side. So we both climbed out and they put us in the Jeep. They looked at us, we had blood all over us. They said, you gotta go to the battalion aid station. Battalion aid station was about a 30-minute drive. We didn't go fast because it was terrible roads, ice and snow.
May only been like 5-10 miles, right?
Yeah. They got us back to the battalion aid station. They gave us pre-op, what do they call it?
It cleaned you up.
Emergency medical attention.
Gotcha.
And there was a dentist there. They told me to wait my turn, and they put some compresses on the bleeding. He said, you're not critical, you wait your turn. The guys were worse. So when we were sitting in the battalion aid station, this guy was a dentist. He had his equipment there. He said, when do you have your teeth checked? Make a long story short, he said, you got one bad impacted wisdom. I says, no, I know it's been bothering me for a few weeks. He says, let me take it out.
So they pulled out your wisdom tooth when you got hurt?
Yeah.
You're bleeding on the table. They pulled out your wisdom tooth.
That's the Army. So they patched up the eye, and they patched up the leg, and when I was waiting for that service, while I was waiting, he said, let me take out the tooth. And he took it out. Gave me Novocaine. The tooth came out fine, you know what I mean?
That's good.
And then they put us back into this Jeep, and they drove us back to the outfit. But as soon as I got back, they were waiting for me. They made out papers. They sent me back to the Army hospital.
Really? This is 1945?
Whatever the Battle of the Bulls was, I think it was 45.
Yeah.
December of 45.
And you were, it can't be December 45. The war ended in 45, so December of 44.
44.
And you guys are already liberating concentration camps and all that stuff?
Yeah. 44, you're right. It's a long time ago.
Yeah, I know. Was that before or after Patton yelled at you?
Oh, that was much after.
What'd Patton say? Tell me that story.
Well, during the regular maneuvers where we were fighting the Germans, we were attached to the 4th Armored Division, the 3rd Army. I think it's the 3rd Army and the 4th Armored Division, or the 4th Army and the 3rd Armored Division. I'm not sure which it was. They attached to an engineer company to them. They got tired of calling us up every time they needed it. So they said, you stick with us. So we were riding along and going to the next location. And it was nighttime. We were the last tank in the convoy. We were behind the last tank, the engineers. And I hear noises like a tank. I said, oh, we're in trouble of being, you know what I mean? The enemy is behind us. So they finally stopped, and I still hear the noise. Coming up behind us is a tank from the 4th Armored Division, or the 3rd Armored. They stopped, they said, how you doing? We said, where you guys were? He says, we were rear guard. I says, we were rear guard. He says, nobody is rear guard for the tank division. They made us feel good. What the hell could we do? They had these big, that was one of the experiences. But with Patton, a couple of weeks before, we were working on a road, fixing some of the big holes, bad holes.
You were in charge, right?
Huh?
You were in charge? Were you
Like a squad.
You were in charge, I'm
8
saying.
men.
Yeah, but you were in charge of the whole
I was
thing.
a staff sergeant. Not a staff, a regular sergeant. I was a weapons sergeant. 3 stripes.
Gotcha.
And we were working along the road. It was a nice sunny day. And a lot of traffic up and back. Pretty soon, we see down about, not quite a quarter of a mile, about 5, 6 blocks. Here comes General Patton. You could tell it was his Jeep because he had the 3 stars on it at the time. And the driver pulled up right up next to us. I thought he was going to run us over. He stopped short. Patton jumped out. He looked around. Who was in charge of his detail? So I said, I am, sir, after I saluted him. He says, well, he said, you guys are not up at the front yet, but eventually you will be. He says, keep up the good work. He didn't even wait for a salute. He jumped back in his Jeep with the driver and they drove away.
That's cool.
I was close to like you and me here.
I see. 1 second, let me get a picture of Grandma. Grandma, say hi.
Wave, Grandma.
We can hear you.
Wave.
What do you have for lunch?
Let's go up, kids. I don't want you to have to rush.
Don't worry about it. Grandma, what do you have for lunch today?
Corned beef,
Was it good?
delicious.
Well, that's good. Cool.
All right, I'm trying to